Welcome back to another video. I am going to show you how to make this YouTube thumbnail for free using Canva. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Alright, so we're going to jump right into this tutorial. Thanks again for joining me for this week's video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like and don't be afraid to comment below. I love chatting with you guys. As I mentioned earlier, this video is all about showing you how to make a simple but beautiful, easy peasy YouTube thumbnail for your videos. I don't want you guys out there who want to start a YouTube channel to not start because of little things like how to create your thumbnail. So I'm going to show you how to do it for free and really simple. So we're going to jump right into it. This is the thumbnail we're going to be creating today. And all you're gonna need, obviously, is an account with Canva. Now, this is super easy to set up. You're just gonna go into canva.com, put in your information, your username, your email, all of that stuff, and 2 twos, you're done, you're ready. Now, once you have your account, you will come to this page. Now, you could click on Create a Design, or you can just come down here. Canva has many options. As you can see, I've made tons of stuff using Canva, and they're so easy and simple. But you can browse through all, or this is also an arrow here that you can use. They got email headers, Twitter posts, Instagram posts, like you can make all kinds of things. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make the thumbnail. So you're going to click on the one that says YouTube thumbnail. And the screen's gonna populate, and the first thing you're gonna see is the templates. So Canva categorizes their templates now based on just the different types of things like music, food, beauty. You can go into them and check them all out, but what I like to do is just scroll down to all results so that I can take a look at all the different ones, whether they're a travel themed thumbnail or whatever. I can take a look at them all. Now, I'm going to assume that most of you who are watching this are beginners. You're new to this whole making YouTube videos and things like that, making content for yourself. The best thing that I find is at some point you are going to be doing more research. You're going to be researching the topic that you want to make a video on. If it's your first set of videos, I would suggest you look at other videos that are created under that topic on YouTube and take a look at what other YouTubers are doing for their thumbnails. And specifically pay attention to popular videos, because that'll give you an indication that certain things are working for this video, and the thumbnail is probably one of those things. Now, if you've made some videos before, check out your most popular video and see what kind of font did you use, what kind of elements were in your thumbnail that made people want to click on it, because that's the big thing. You have to remember, tons of people are searching, and at some point your thumbnail might get lost, and maybe this one will get lost, but I'm showing you something really basic and simple so it's easy for you to move up from there. So I'm going to scroll down to the thumbnail that I used, or the template that I used for this video. Okay, the other thing I want to show you, now you're probably saying, wait a minute, Sarah, some of these thumbnails say they're free and then some don't have anything. Here's the thing, all of these thumbnails are free, but the difference between the one that says free and the one that doesn't, for example, I'm going to click on the one I'm using, it's not free. The reason why it's not free is because the image is not a free image. It's not a royalty-free image that you just get like from a stock photo. You have to pay for it. So when you go here to download the image, Canva is going to say, hey, there's a premium image in here and it costs $1. Do you still want to download it? Your payment information will already be stored within Canva. So if you want to, you can go ahead and click pay and download, but we're not going to do that because I'm going to actually use my own image. Now, the ones that are free, the image is also free. You can use the image. It's a stock photo. So when you go to download, Canva is not going to ask you to pay. You can just download straight away. Some of them say it, some of them don't, but that's the reason, the main reason why. There's an element within the template that is not free. So But don't worry, if you see that, take a look and you'll know. So let's go back to the one we're gonna use. Now the next thing you're gonna need to do is go to Uploads to get that picture of yours. Now if you've never used Canva before, you're just creating your account, you're gonna have to upload some pictures. So all you gotta do is go to Upload. It'll populate one of your things, and you can easily pick pictures or whatever, but I have a folder with all of my photos in here. Some recent, some not so recent, but say that I wanted to upload this one, I can just click it. You can also upload multiple photos by pressing Control and click on it, click on it, click on it, and then you can upload all 4 of those, and this is what it looks like when it's uploading. You'll see the little blue bar moving as each one uploads. Boom, uploaded, boom, uploaded. And it'll go and it'll go and it'll go. And then you can choose it and go from there. When they're all done, this will be gone and you're good to go. Boom. But I've already uploaded the photo that I want, so I'm just gonna scroll down. Here we go. So I'm using this photo. So all I'm gonna do is left click and hold and drag the photo over. Now I don't release the click. The reason why I don't release the click is because I want to see like a preview of what it looks like before I commit to it. So I like how it looks, so I'm gonna keep it. Release the click and now your photo's there. The beautiful thing about Canva is that everything here is an element. So this, for example, is an element. The font is an element. These little diamond things are elements, and you can do different things with them. You can change them, you can customize them. I'm going to show you how to do that. So for example, I'm going to show you with this element. You click on the element, you can actually do a number of things. So the first thing is you can rotate it. So this little icon here gives you the option to rotate, move it around. So you just left click and hold and then turn to the left, turn to the right, and you see how it rotates? Boom. The other thing is these white dots here allow you to resize the element. So if you just put your cursor over the dot and click and hold, you can drag it, you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, easy peasy. The other thing is if you look up here, now you can also change the colors. It shows you, once you click on an element, it shows you the colors that you're using. So if I click on the pink, I can change this to my brand colors. So one of the cool things about Canva is when you set up an account, you can set up your brand colors, your brand font, you can upload your logos, your social media share buttons, all of that stuff. It's already populated, so you don't have to do it every single time you create a piece of content. So that's another great reason why you should just set up the account and just do all that stuff from the beginning, because then you never have to consistently or constantly be searching up your colors and searching up your font. And I'll show you the font example later. But so I'm gonna click on one of my colors and you see how the pink turned to brown? Boom. The other cool thing is, say that you want to change all the pink elements to brown. Down here, if you look, it says change all pink to brown. If you click on this, watch what happens. Boom. All the pink elements are now this beige color. Canva makes it super, super easy for you to do this. If you want to change the black, you can also change the black to something else. And there you go. It's done. The other thing I want to show you is the transparency. Let's just say that this element is a little bit too bold. You kind of want it to be a little bit more in the background. So you click on the element and click on transparency. Click and hold this, and the lower the number, the more transparent it is, the less you can see it. The higher the number, the more you can see it. So boom, boom, boom. Easy peasy. So I don't need this element. So what we're going to do is just click and delete it. The other beautiful thing about Canva is that it saves every change you make as you make it. So you'll see right here, it says all changes saved. So in case your computer shuts off or something happens or whatever, the last thing you did is already saved. This image is saved exactly as it is, and you can always come back to it. If you make a mistake, you can also undo, and now it's undone, or you can redo. All right, so the next part we're gonna work on is the photo itself. So the cool thing about Canva, you click on the photo, whatever element you click on, right away at the top bar here, you're gonna see options. So again, I clicked on the photo, so what I can do is I can flip it. I can turn it, boom, horizontally. I can turn it, boom, vertically. I can do whatever to it. I like it the way it is, so we're gonna keep it as such. What I do wanna do though is crop it, because I want my photo to be more to the right than to the left. Now, some pictures you won't be able to do this with because it depends on the size of your picture. If you take the picture in landscape mode and it's long enough, you'll be able to resize it like this. So you see how I'm just clicking and dragging to where I want myself to be in the image, and then I just click done, and now more to the right. I would like to do this so that my text can be more to one side and my image more to the other. The other thing I can do is I can add a filter to my pictures as well. I usually don't use this part because some of the filters, they just don't work for me, but there's many options that you can use, and you can change the intensity of these filters as well. But I'm not going to do that, so I'm just going to keep it at none. And what I'm actually going to do is adjust. So you can also adjust the brightness, the contrast, all of that stuff. And you have to remember that right now, this thumbnail is big, and if someone is watching this on their desktop, it'll be pretty big. But if most people are looking for YouTube videos from their smart device, their cell phone, so you gotta remember that your thumbnail is gonna be like a quarter of the size on the screen. So you want to make sure that your image is popping enough so people can really notice. So you're probably going to do a little bit more than what you would normally do, just because you want it to pop and you want people to really be able to see the photo and see the image when it's time for you to save this. So I've just made this a little bit, it may look a little bit more saturated than I even want it to be, but this is what's going to make it pop when people are searching. So that part's done. And again, all the changes are saved, so you don't have to do anything. Now, I like these elements. I actually do want to change them back to black. And I just change all, so now they're back to black. But what I do want to do is click and move them. So whenever you see that 4 arrows, you're able to click and drag things. And these pink lines just help you to align things easier. Canva really helps you with everything. Like, it's so user-friendly. This is what I started off using for all my social media posts, any of my branded content that you see. A lot of it is created through Canva. I've only recently, maybe for the last year, started using PicMonkey as well. If you're interested in a tutorial of how I use PicMonkey, then I can do that. Just comment below. So, boom, you got that. Go straight into the font and the text. So when you click on this element, up at the top, it's going to show you immediately what font you're using. You can click the arrow to change this. You can search for fonts. You remember the branded fonts I was telling you about? If you set this up in your profile, your branded font will always be here and you'll never have to search for it. But you can also search for other fonts that they have, and they also show you a preview of what it would look like. And you have the option to upload a font as well. But I'm cool with the font that's currently here, so we're going to keep this. If you want to resize it, this is where you go. But again, an easier way to resize it is just to click on it and locate one of the dots and just drag. Click and drag. Now this part here is to change the text color, but I like it black, so we're going to keep it. Bold and italic are not available because this font is already bold and italic. If it wasn't, I could click on these. The next one is the alignment. Right now it's all aligned to the left. For this one I want it to be in the center, so I just click alignment until it gets to the center. If you wanted it to the right, you just click it again, and there it is to the right. Super easy. This icon here is to change. Right now all of my letters are uppercase. If I wanted them to be lowercase, I just click on it and boom, it's lowercase. But we're going to keep it uppercase. This one is, of course, if you want to make lists, bullet points, things like that. The other great one that I use is spacing. So I like to space out the letters just so it's not so bunched up and it looks a little better to me. So you just click on letter spacing and you just drag it to where you like it. and you're done. The line height just creates space between each word. So you can just click on the dot and then drag it to where you like it. And you see how as it's dragging, it's moving from the center up as well as down? This is what the anchor text box does. I always keep it on this because that's what happens. Now if I put it on here, when I drag it, it's gonna move from the center down. See that? If I click on this one, it's gonna move from the center up. That's why I prefer to keep it in the middle, because then it's even from top to bottom. And then that's it. The other thing I like to do, and I'd like to do it for this, is just rotate. Remember, your elements have to stay within this box or it will get cut off, so you just need to move this around a bit. Maybe resize it just a tad so that everything stays where you'd like it. And see that pink line? Canva's helping you to make sure that it's all in alignment with the rest of your elements or your image. The last little trick, if you want to make something look 3D, you're going to click here. You're going to click on the element, and you can do this for any element except for your picture. See where it says copy? You're going to click copy, and it makes a duplicate of whatever you've highlighted. So now I have 2 of these. And what I want to do is create that illusion of 3D. So I'm going to click on this one that's underneath it and change the color to like this brown, this beige color. And then bring down the transparency a bit. And then grab this one, the second one that I created, and put it over top of it, but not all the way, just a little off, so that it creates that illusion of 3D. And then you're done. And like I said, you can copy any element except for the pictures, so you see how that's copied. So if you create an element and you really like it, instead of having to go and create it all over again, just copy the element that, the finished element, and boom, you have it. I just want to move this a little. It's more in alignment. Bigger, and that's it. But one other thing I want to show you is there's so many other little things that you can do, options. Again, if you want to change the file name, you just click on it and the file name can be changed there. You can file, save, home, whatever. But elements, if you wanted to add other elements, sometimes I'll add like quotation marks. See here, I have quotation marks like a box or like little things. Every element that's available on Canva, it'll tell you if it's free or if it's paid. It's super easy to know. So just, if it says it's $1 and you don't want to pay $1 for it, then don't click on that. Stick with the free stuff and just keep searching till you find the one you want. But there's free photos, there's free shapes. You can put, you can put charts, lines, frames, icons, all kinds of things. And Canva has a lot. You can also do text, and this is the other thing I want to show you, which I think is really cool. Say that I want to add some extra text, maybe some other little element, and instead of going in and trying to do this myself, I could literally click on the text that I like, and then it'll show up. And let's just move it over here, and I'm just going to resize it just a bit. Okay, so I want to show you something. Now, what you didn't notice before when I had this font is this, the ungroup. See how it's not here? Because this is just one font, one size, one everything. But this is a group. There's one element here, there's the Thomas Miller element, and then there's this other part which is the 7th annual Charleston Sports. They're different sizes, different fonts, and they're all in a group. So if I click on it and I want to move it, the whole group moves. Now let's say, for example, I love the Thomas Miller part and I love this part at the bottom, but I don't really want the "this certificate is proudly presented to" part. I can get rid of that. So all I gotta do is click on the whole element and click ungroup. Now once I click ungroup, it's all ungrouped. I can now, if I click off of it, I can now click on Thomas Miller by itself and edit that. I can click on the "this is certificate proudly" thing, and now I can delete it. And now all I have is a Thomas Miller and this, and it's all back. Now the only thing is, you'll have to move them individually now, but at least instead of having to do this all from scratch just to get rid of one element, you can just ungroup it, get rid of that element, and now you can do whatever you need to do to the rest of the elements. But if you decide that, you know what, I'm not too feeling that, I want to keep it as is, blah, 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 you can just undo, but I don't want the element at all, so I'm just going to delete it. So what you can do is you can delete the element. This is another option. Delete the element or delete the group if you didn't want to go the ungroup route. So say for example, I want, like I said, I want to just delete the "this certificate is proudly presented to." I make sure I click on that part of the element or of the group, click delete, and it'll ask me if I want to delete the element or delete the group. I just want to delete the element. Boom. Now it's still grouped. I can move them together, but I don't have that part that I didn't want. So that's another option, but I'm just gonna delete everything, delete the whole group, boom, it's gone. So that's just another cool little thing. But if you wanted to not do all the fancy stuff down here with their templates, if you just wanted to add a header, which is a bigger size font, a subheading, a smaller font, and then a little bit of text, you can just click on them and then it'll populate and you can do that. Super easy, see? Add subheading, then you can click, type whatever you want. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, it's totally up to you. The other thing too is, say that you weren't going to use your own image, you can use a background, and they're free, and there's tons of really great backgrounds. And if you want to see how it looked before you commit it, do what I did with my photo. So click on the background, click and hold, drag it, and bring it over. Boom. Now say that you're looking at it, you're like, I don't like that. Just undo it, and you're good to go. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is download this. Now, I'm gonna show you something. The suggested PNG file is fine in most cases. I usually download mine to PNG because they're easier to customize than a JPEG. But for your YouTube thumbnail, I'm gonna advise you not to do this. I learned this the hard way and had to figure this out. Like, it took me 10 or 15 minutes to figure it out. You don't wanna do PNG. You wanna check the arrow and go down to JPEG. If you save your YouTube thumbnail as a PNG through Canva, when you try to upload it to YouTube, it's gonna say either the file is too large or this is not a photo or something like that. So go to JPEG and save it. The image quality is still gonna be fine. It's not going to distort it or make it look weird. It's perfectly fine. And then you're gonna go ahead and download it. Takes a few seconds, and bing bang boom, you're done. You've got your finished YouTube thumbnail, and you can upload it to your existing or new video. The other thing I wanted to show you was the resize. Now that I've saved this, let's say that I created this, but I wanted to promote my YouTube video on social media. Now we know that the YouTube thumbnail dimensions is too big for like Instagram or Facebook or wherever. So if we resize it, let's say we're gonna choose an Instagram post, a Facebook post. They have all kinds of posts here. So let's choose an Instagram post. Now you can either copy this and resize it or just resize it. Now because we've already saved this, you can just resize it. But if you didn't save this yet, you should copy it and resize it. But we're just gonna resize it. And now it's resized to an Instagram post? Yes, I believe it was the Instagram post I chose. So now you have this saved. Now this is blown up a little bigger, so it's zoomed in. But now it's at the dimensions of an Instagram post. Obviously, you're gonna have to go in and crop and customize and do that. But you see how now you can maybe change it up a little bit. You can move this around. You can make this bigger. You can do whatever you want, but now it's in the dimensions of an Instagram post that you can now go ahead and promote your YouTube video on, which I think is a super cool feature that Canva now has. But yeah, that's it for this tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give this video a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss my weekly videos. Thank you guys so much, and comment below if there's any other tutorials that you'd like me to show you, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!